has copied. The United Nations did a very wonderful job on something like that. So what they had to do is to go there and lift it and domesticate it. But the biggest part of it is implementation. Do we actually implement that? They're talking about government agencies and this and that. Sure, they should be part of it. Has anybody contacted your organization, the channels, television, or all the other media houses? You guys are very, very critical part of any counter-terrorism strategy because you have a very big megaphone and a platform to be able to reach hundreds of millions of Nigerians. You may not reach all of them who don't have access to TV and radio, but you are going to reach a significant portion of Nigerians through your platform. And you should be an integral part of whatever national security strategy that we are putting in place.
I'm just wondering now, what role do you see for ministries, departments, and agencies?
Well, they too have a way of, disseminating the information to their own people. If you look at Nigeria, the highest employer of labor in Nigeria is probably the federal government of Nigeria, because our central government is overbloated with hundreds of thousands of civil servants. So if you're able to get them engaged and you're able to, pass out strategic information to all the employees in all the various civil services in the country, you have equally reached a great number of Nigerian population. And they too have families. They take that information down to their families, and that's how you spread the message. Oh,
Captain Umar Aliyu was already giving Nigerians some tips on what to look out for, and perhaps even how to profile a place when you're about to enter. One of the things he also says you should look out for is your gut feelings. But how do you also differentiate? Because one of the things that people also say we should avoid is fear. That one of the things that terrorists try to do is instill fear in you and, change your lifestyle, as it were. How do you differentiate between a gut feeling in terms of the security threat or analysis of a place and fear that you just feel?
Well, gut feelings may not be for everybody. Fear, in a sense, is handing over victory to the terrorists, because that's what they want to achieve in the first place, is to put fear in the people. What I would say is this: the government has a critical role to play, because you as a person, you can make certain decisions on your own. Look, I'm used to coming to this place and I'm used to seeing things look this way. Today that I came, something is not quite looking right today. So you'll be able to make a critical decision right there on the spot. And like I alluded before, not everybody has that capacity to think in that way. So somebody has to do the thinking for them. Okay, somebody has to go out to them and say, look, if you see something like this, there has to be some kind of sensitization and awareness program in this country where we can really, really pass out the critical message on what to look out for when we go to certain places. Or in your community, if you see a certain individual, this is the action that you have to take. I don't know, if for example, now, if there's anything out of place, say in this your workplace right now, who do you call? Is there an easy number that you can pick up your phone and dial, and somebody will attend to you? It just don't exist.
These are all very, very critical questions, but I understand that Gimba has a question for you from Lagos.
Okay.
Indeed, because you mentioned that channels, television, and perhaps other very powerful media outfits should be keyed into the anti-terrorism campaign. Because right now, I'm wondering how that will have immediate effect. Because right now, as we speak, we're having confirmed reports from our correspondent in Adamawa State. As you know, Adamawa State has been attacked repeatedly 3 times in the past 2 weeks. Now we have another breaking story that in Lawaru and Dong communities are under attacks by suspected militiamen happening in Demsa, local government area of Adamawa State. Do you think that even as security discussions are just awash on social media and even in the media space completely, that while we do the talking, the terrorists are still killing people like it is happening now?
Dimba, I alluded earlier that we are at the most difficult phase of this war against terrorism, because we are dealing with people who have decided to remain asymmetric We don't know who they are. They can just simply come out from anywhere and begin to carry out the attack. At the same time, it does not mean that we should stop doing, the right things that we would normally do. You guys are critical part of any national security strategy. You cannot exclude the media from any form of national security strategy because you are the ones who are going to take the message down to the people. So you remain very, very critical. And you continue to do the things that you do. You play the role that you play. Where we are lacking is where the government has failed to even engage people like yourself, and even educate you guys on the right message that you can use your megaphone, your big megaphone that you have right now, and put out to the people. Whatever thing you are doing right now, you are doing it out of your own, patriotic duty as a Nigerian to do it. I don't believe anybody has even approached you or organized a seminar or conference of the media, and say, look, this are the information that we need you to put out to the people.
Because
sure.
I'm actually looking
what
at
we are doing right now.
Permit me to just butt in here, because
okay.
I'm really concerned about the porosity up north, especially in Adamawa State. Now that we're having an attack currently going on, we're getting that breaking story from our correspondent there. What do you think that the security apparatus should do? Because this is not happening in Adamawa State for the first time. As a matter of fact, in the past 3 weeks, it has happened repeatedly. And this morning, as we speak, it is happening now. What are the security apparatus missing in this situation?